Welcome back, Stasa23 here, back again with some knife therapy, and today I have for you the T.W. Price Designs Dawn. This is the first knife that has gotten me super excited in a while. The variation you see right here is coming in at $280, and this is a prototype, and I'm getting the video out to y'all today because the pre-order will be closing this Friday, December 10th, 2021 at 8 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you've wanted one or you're wondering how you get it, go check out his site. You can go check him out on Instagram and go get on the pre-order. I pre-ordered this exact variation. I'm just going to tell you all that now. You can also get it with a Damascus steel blade for $440. Or you can get it with a stone-washed, a blasted stone-wash finish with black titanium for $265. So you got some variations, and he has other plans for different styles of this knife later down the road. And I think the most amazing thing about Mr. Price and his knife is this is his first design, and he's only 20 years old. That just blows my mind. And it inspires me to, complete one of my designs. I've got so many of them that I've drawn up. I just need to learn how to do CAD or get somebody to do the CAD drawing for me. But such an awesome accomplishment, and I cannot wait to see what he does in the later future. Let's get some specs out of the way before we go any further. You have a total length of 7.5 inches, so it's in that medium to smaller range. It's that perfect size range for what I like. You have a 3.3 inch blade. Your grip area from here to the back is at around 3 7/8 inches. You can somewhat choke up in that forward choil with the front part of your finger. Your handle scale thickness is pretty thin at 0.47 inches and closed width in the pocket from here to here of 1.135 inches. You have a blade stock thickness of 0.118, and the behind the edge thickness on this particular prototype is around 15 thousandths at the thinnest portion, and this one is sharpened at around 28 degrees per side. At least that's what the goniometer says. So let's take a close look at this. You have this nice, very nice and classy hand rub satin drop point blade. Best Tech just does an amazing job. They're the OEM for this knife, if I didn't say that before. And they have just been killing it in my eyes. The overall look and feel of this knife has that custom touch to it. The scales are just wow. I mean, the texture you get from those and the look from the different way the light hits them is just amazing. And paired with that nice hand rub satin blade, and I'm not even a hand rub satin kind of guy. I prefer a good stone wash because it hides wear easier, but with the little cutting I did do with this nice and smooth hand rub finish just glides through material. I mean, that is also aided by the thinner geometry. But whenever you're cutting like the rubber and even some of that cardboard, this stuff right here, it really wants to bind up whenever it catches the sidewalls of the knife. And when you have that smooth finish on there, it doesn't feel, there's no resistance. That's what I'm trying to say. That nice wedge comes down and thins out that tip a little bit. Now the tip's not, it looks like it's very thin, but it's got some meat behind it. This wedge just makes it look that way. I did read in his notes that he already has some things that are being corrected, and the satin did not go onto the flats, and that's something that he is getting addressed. Also, what else he said? Something about knocking down the texture a little bit on the scales. I I found the texture to be good. The grip was perfect on it. The only thing I would say is maybe knock the peaks down on the side right here. I don't know, maybe they could stone wash it or something. But other than that, I like the tactile grip I got whenever I was, cutting into the wood and stuff like that. It was nice and comfortable in the hand. Only thing that I really felt is the top of this pocket clip a little bit. These two little points on the lock bar and the tip right here of the lock bar cut out. It wasn't terrible, but it's something that I did feel, and maybe, from extended cutting, maybe that would be more bothersome. I'm also really glad that he decided to do this forward choil area right there for two reasons. It aids in sharpening, so it doesn't start getting into that plunge grind, making the bevel widen up, after the first sharpening. And also you can get your finger, I can get that front part of my finger in there if I want to do a little bit of a choke up on it, but it's not the end of the world to me that I can't get all the way up on it, and it's not too overbearing to where I'm gonna get caught up in there. At least I didn't notice any problems with it. Close this up. This is a front flipper, as you can see, and the front flipper is designed well. That flipper tab is sitting above the top of the scales right there, so get that perfect amount of leverage to where that blade just wants to fly out. You can do the little finger roll very easily, and that jimping is nice and grippy, and it's not too overly grippy to where it feels like it's gonna leave DNA every time I deploy it. And I'm not the best front flipper, but this one's just very easy to use, and you can I do like the fact that I can roll it all the way around without that blade getting buried in there. So definitely good job on that as well. Only better jimping that you could do with that is that more fine cut jimping that Riot does on those Pena X series knives or something like that. You could get more jimps out of it, and it grabs your finger just as good, if not better. And you don't have to worry about it eventually getting into your skin. The action, it comes out whenever the blade breaks that detent. It comes rocketing out. It's that perfect break, and just listen to that positive click you have here. Nice positive click, and that you can do a nice spotty flick because they did not smooth out the fullers. It's got that perfect sharpness to where it's not going to tear you up or anything, but it easily allows you to use it for a deployment. You can thumb flick it. Oh, that was a weak one. Thumb flick it. You can spotty flick it, and you can do all the stuff. Definitely a very fidgety knife, no doubt. I've been fidgeting with it since it got to my house the other day, and it's been an absolute pleasure. I did not hesitate. As soon as that pre-order came up, I jumped on it. He also used T8 fasteners throughout. I love the little pop of color that you get with the purple on the pivot collar right there. I think that's that perfect pop of color. You don't have too much overbearing, but this knife is definitely a nice blank canvas for any modders out there, or people who want to get something anodized. You could anodize the whole thing and then sand just the flats off of it, and you'd have in between there the color, and you could do another color over the top or the sides. There's so many things you can do with this. It's just a blank canvas, shall we say. On this side, you can see that your pocket clip is blind screwed, so you don't see the hardware on the outside. I'll probably put a picture up here showing how they did that, because you have this one screw right here to that threads into here. You have a long screw that goes all the way through that standoff right there, and I'll probably put pictures of all that right up here in the left corner. Nicely done. They put a little post in there to keep it from going side to side, and they have a little channel cut in there. So they took all the precautionary steps so this thing's not going to move side to side on you at all. They also added a flat spot, as you can see right there, for the clip to lie on. So whenever you're pulling it in and out of the pocket, it doesn't destroy your pants pockets. Now, one thing I did notice, and I think he's addressing some of the stuff with the clip. I think he said something about the height, taking that down some. And I did notice that my pants would get bunched up in the inside of that. And one way to avoid that, I would have loved to see that lock bar cut out on the inside. That way you wouldn't break up any of the lines right here. You'd have that milling going out throughout the entire scale, and it would just look that much nicer. It's not the end of the world here. It's fine. But you also wouldn't have these corners right here. Whenever I was cutting into the wood, I could feel just ever so slightly on these two corners. It wasn't terrible or anything. You do have a flow-through construction, as you can see, and you have some internal milling. Let's see, can you see that? You have some nice internal milling pockets. I don't know if it's showing up or not. There you go. There we go. Knife is a perfect weight at, I think it's 3.3 ounces. It feels perfect in the hand. It's not so light to where it feels dainty, and it's definitely not heavy and in any means. The lockup on the knife is sitting at around, say, 50%. You don't have any side-to-side play whatsoever. And the only thing that I noticed, and he had already addressed this, is that if you push down on the blade hard enough, you can get the lock to slip a little bit. And he asked me if I was willing to take it apart and see if I could do any adjustments in there to try to alleviate that. And whenever I inspected it, I took it apart, and I did tweak the lock bar just a little bit. And after looking at the lock faces and other stuff, the tang, I think it's more so a geometry issue right there, but I'm sure Best Tech will definitely fix that before the final production. If I put the pictures on the screen, you can see what I'm talking about, where you have a worn spot on the edge of the lock bar. So an easy fix in production, and something that that's why we do these reviews beforehand, to try to catch anything like that. Make sure there's anything ergos. Like I said before, we're really good. Nothing stood out as bothersome besides the corner on that pocket clip some, and the height on the pocket clip. Other than that, it was good. One thing that I think would have really set this knife off is to have a semi crown spine. I just think the crown spines just make the knife look so classy, and it makes it look even more expensive in my opinion. Now, I don't know if that would have made the swedge look a little funny, but it would have been a very nice little feature, maybe something to add later down the road. Lock bar access is nice on this one. Easy access to that lock bar, no problem. And I'll say I've been doing this all day, and it's a nice drop shut knife. It's not like a guillotine, but just a couple little shakes and it goes down. There you go. Definitely pumped up about this one. Let's get some quick size comparisons. And I know some people say that looks just like this, looks like that. Nah, I don't think so either. I think Metal Complex was talking about it. There's so many knives out there. They're all going to resemble one another. Here's the PM2 and the Power 3, much closer to the Power 3 size. Let's see. 3 Yep, almost identical to the Para 3 as far as length goes. Let's see, you can say it drew some influence from this beauty. This is the Sebenza 31 and the large Sebenza 21. So much closer to the 31. It's a little bit bigger. See, and I think this is a perfect size because the Sebenza 31 fits me just right in the hand. The small one does. I mean, this fits even better. But you definitely have that nice classy look just like on the Dawn. And then you have the bug out. You got that same, you got that same somewhat of a profile in the blade shape and about the exact length as the bug out. So if you like the overall bug out feeling, you have an idea here. Except you do have this designated choil right there. It's a little different. And I think it has more look to the Diskin IDF. So look at those. You got that similar, except the IDF has that more sharp drop down on the blade. So definitely he takes some excellent influence. If you're going to design a knife, of course, you're going to design it from features you like from all your favorite knives. I mean, that's not copying a person's knife whatsoever. That's just what you like. So many makers, if you ask them, they'll tell you, I loved the way this maker did that, and that's how I kind of incorporated it into my design some. But he definitely has his own design language here. Let's not mistake that. Definitely his own thing. And I'm definitely excited to see where he takes it in the future. So I'm happy that he allowed me to check it out, to show it to y'all. Make sure if you're wanting to get in on this pre-order, I'll try to leave links down below to his site for the pre-order. Like I said, it ends this Friday at 8 p.m. Pacific. And there you go. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. I hope everybody's having an absolute wonderful day, and I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.